Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. Today on Fit Club, we talk getting your kids to eat their veggies, healthy fats, and we're joined by Brett Hoebel, creator of the 20-Minute Body and NBC's Biggest Loser 11 trainer.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
Nothing can stop me.
I'm all the way up. Hey, this song has been replaying in my head from this weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your fourth. Welcome to Fit Club. I'm your host, Fallon Mercedes. You guys can find me online at fitwithfallon.com or at fitwithfallon on social media. Alongside my lovely co-host, Mr. Shaka Strong. Where can they find you?
Yep, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
And today we will be having a special guest. He's going to join us a little later. His name is Brett Hoebel. I know him from, and you might know him from too, NBC The Biggest Loser season 11. He was known for his capoeira.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to chat with him. He's also the creator of the 20-Minute Body Workout.
Which I'm so excited about because what better way to get fit than in 20 minutes, but it's pretty intense.
And you know, I even taught a class which so happened to be Jillian Michaels' Body Strike class, which is only 25 minutes. I'm certified in that class, and I'll tell you, it is the best class, and that's why I got certified in it.
High intensity. Yeah.
So high intensity. You are dripping. You burned 800, 900 calories.
And the best part about it is he does 20-minute meals too. And so that will be a nice little
That's
bit.
what I need to pick his brain about, because when I meal prep, it takes like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like over it.
The
so
hard stuff.
I will be learning stuff as well as you. We do have some topics as we usually do. Shaka did a great job digging in and finding, great things for us to chat about. So one of the things he researched was something that school lunches are incorporating, which I think is really cool, because when I was growing up, I just remember having school lunch and reaching for the nachos and the pizza.
And corn dogs.
Corn dogs, all the unhealthy stuff, or begging my parents, please, let's get McDonald's, And, this study even shows that a lot of marketing plays into it. So they have found a new trick to get kids to eat their veggies. Do you want to kind of explain what this trick is?
Well, it's on the marketing. What I love that they actually did a real study. So they did over 6 weeks. They looked at 10 public schools, and they had one public school where they did marketing by banners that were near where kids select the food that showed their veggies as superheroes. Mm-hmm. So you had the Brian Broccoli, who had the muscular arms, and you had Colby Carrot, who had the laser beams through the eyes. And they found that when they did the vinyl banners, kids actually chose veggies more. And so there was actually a 100% increase from 12% to 24% of kids that were having veggies as a result. Then they also did a study where they did a group that only looked at video segments that featured the same characters, and they found there wasn't actually a jump. But when they featured the video segments with the banners, they found there was a jump of 239%. So kids went from 10% eating veggies in the schools to 34%. So that's huge. So we know that marketing plays a big role. It's not like a palate or a taste. The kids just need to be marketed to better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know growing up, I wanted a McDonald's, kids meal because they had a toy in it.
Oh, yeah, and Ronald McDonald, and then you had Grimace. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even in the supermarket, I would want a specific, cereal box just because of what was on the box. If there was a game on the box that I can, draw through the maze, or,
Yeah, there's got to be, we think about vegetables as these awful things, so I think maybe they're marketed as awful things. But they just found that marketing really does affect kids, especially kids younger than 8 are extremely susceptible.
Yeah.
So if you start developing good habits at that age, you'll be good lifelong. And we know that especially in minority communities, childhood obesity is becoming an issue. And it's becoming a big issue where it's really leading to a loss of productivity and health and, life even in some cases. So
I find it very interesting, or I would find it very interesting, if they did this study on adults.
Yeah.
I would want to see how much marketing really plays into, what we choose to eat, even as adults, because I know, sometimes I want things that I'm not even craving.
Well, have you seen a Carl's Jr. ad?
Exactly. All of a sudden you want a big juicy burger, and you're like, wait, I don't even even eat red meat.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? I don't even want that.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if they have that study. I'll actually, after the show, I'll research, and if I find it, we'll chat about it next week. And I know we've talked about in the past that, fat is actually good for you, especially the good fats, but it can actually increase your life expectancy.
Yeah.
So I found this very interesting to know that it can even add years to your life. So not all fats are really created equal. And what did you find in this study, Shaka?
Well, I like this one in particular because it was so comprehensive. It was from 1980 to 2012, and they checked in with participants every 2 to 4 years. It involved 126,000 men and women. So it's not like a small study where we can just say we're not sure if it works in a broader population. And they really found that replacing 5% of calories with good fats reduces your risk of death by 27%.
27. That's almost, what is that? Almost a third, right?
Yeah. So that's huge. And I think most people wonder, well, what are good fats? And so they found that the polyunsaturated fats really did the best. And so nuts, seeds, fatty fish, algae, leafy greens is what you're looking at. And particularly linoleic acid, which is a subset.
Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds,
exactly.
stuff like that, yeah.
And so that's a subset of polyunsaturated fats. So if you're looking for those kind of fats, that's where you want to head to. And you want to avoid trans fats at all costs, because those really led to a decline in people's health.
Yeah, I found this interesting too, that the types of fat in our diet are more important than the total amount of fat, similar to what you were just saying. So I think that's important because, sometimes I'll eat a lot of nuts and people are like, oh, you shouldn't eat so many nuts, that they're high in fat. But I'm like, I would rather be eating nuts that are healthy fats than, eating a burger, that's covered in oil.
Or even with crackers and cookies, because what they found is trans fat, because a lot of people talk about trans fat, but we don't know where we can find them. But a lot of crackers and cookies and things like that, processed foods, tend to have them in there. So you really want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, so eat your good fats, not your bad fats, and you can increase your life expectancy. Yeah. Another topic, which this was one of my favorites just because I love me some Oprah.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of Oprah. I feel like she is very vocal about how she's always struggled with her weight. Yeah. And I think joining with Weight Watchers was great for her because she is such a businesswoman. Yeah. And I feel like for her, maybe she wasn't so motivated to lose the weight, but when it was a business opportunity.
Yeah, and it's not just joining, it's investing. So
investing. And, she's all about motivating and lifting up other people. So I feel like she's taking it on to kind of be an example to others and to try to live a healthier life. And she's getting older too, and I think it's probably a wake-up call for her. Like, I need to really get it together, especially if she wants to run her network, have her different shows, and do so many things. Now is the time to kind of get on it.
And one of the things, real quickly, that Brett Hoebel, our guest, is so big on is accountability. So I like that she didn't just partner with them; she invested. So that really gives her a greater accountability with what she's doing.
Yes, and right now, Miss Oprah is down 26 pounds. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. And she is able to lose the weight while eating her favorite food, which is bread. So she didn't have to give it up completely, which I love. She's open and honest. She's still nibbling and eating some of the things she loves, but of course, portion controlled and, holding herself accountable not to go crazy and eat everything she wants. And
I think that's one of the important things with dieting. It has to be something you can do for the rest of your life. And I guess with bread, she knew she could not give that up. Yeah. So how could she have bread and still be healthy? And there was a way for her to do that.
Yeah. So she has 5 tips, the 5 go-to diet tips for losing weight. And one of them is seafood is your friend. She says she eats it often, and her new favorite fish is called barramund. Have you heard that?
No, but apparently it's like a fish that's very difficult to obtain.
Yeah, it's when she was visiting Alaska, she was able to taste this fish for the first time, loved it. She said it's similar to Asian sea bass, and With Weight Watchers, it's a little bit different. It's not counting calories, but you're counting points. I don't know exactly, all the point
Yeah, I don't have the point system.
but I personally, I have a lot of clients who do it, and I do not worry about them when it comes to the nutrition. I know that off the top of their head, they will see a food and automatically know how many points it is, and they know if they can have it or it will take them over. So one thing Oprah learned or had an epiphany about was that 77 large shrimp are only equal to 6 points on the Weight Watchers scale. That's equivalent to only 1/3 of a wild salmon.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that just shows you,
yeah.
You can eat. You don't have to starve yourself on Weight Watchers. You can still enjoy food that you love. You can have a lot of shrimp, but, salmon, it's high in fat, so you have to be careful with
But it
the
is
salmon.
a good fat, though.
Good
it may
fat,
not be good on this point system, but it's still some good fat in your system.
Yeah, it's good. You should have. I mean, I eat salmon all the time, but the only thing you have to, again, you never want to kind of overindulge.
Yeah.
You can have, like this shows, you can have 77 large
Portion
shrimp
control.
or 3/8 of the wild salmon. Number 2 on Oprah's, tricks for weight loss list, satisfying your craving with jicama.
Jicama, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never had it myself. Do you know what she's talking about?
No, jicama, some root vegetable, but apparently if you pull it back, it's very crunchy, and it can be a very good replacement for chips, which I have a chip addiction. I don't know about you. Yeah, I do like chips.
Oh, that's why when I brought them in that one time, I'll jump in there.
I try to go with a kettle cooked in a cooking. Try to go with the healthiest thing I can find, but
I also, for chips, I like, I just like making my own kale chips. I just put it in the oven, a little bit of olive oil, spray
that's
it,
perfect too.
Salt and pepper. It gives you that crunch.
So if you can't get jicama, that's a good kale chip recipe.
Yeah, but we'll have to try that. If you guys have tried jicama, let us know what you think. I don't know, so I'm kind of curious. Number 3 on Oprah's must-have tricks for weight loss: make spaghetti squash taste more like spaghetti. And the way Oprah does this is she adds 3/8 of real noodles, which only equals 2 points. So I'm assuming, if I can remember correctly, majority of the clients, I think they can have like 26 points a day.
Okay.
So this would be equivalent to 2 points.
And depending on the kind of noodles you have, you can have rice noodles or different types at maybe lower points. I don't know, but that are healthy for you.
For me personally, I feel like I would just do the regular squash. I feel like a lot of her tricks, she's like adding real stuff to it at a portion size.
But I actually like this one because we have the next one, which is the mashed cauliflower, where she does, if she has a big group, she has a whole head of cauliflower, then adds one mashed potato. And those two I actually did like because I know some people that just could not stand if they know it's cauliflower, if mentally they can't get over the hurdle.
So I finally made cauliflower mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
I made it for my boyfriend who does not like veggies. Like, the only thing he will eat is kale salad. And I didn't tell him that it was cauliflower mac and cheese. And he couldn't believe that it wasn't real noodles in there.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Awesome. So you did an excellent job.
I did.
That's great.
So you guys should try it.
But if he had not taken to it, then the next time he might have added half noodles.
Yeah, maybe. But he couldn't believe it. And I was surprised too. The only thing I would say is you have to make sure you kind of dry out the cauliflower because it's it's naturally wet.
Yeah.
So you have to, I would even bake it rather than boil it before you do the mac and cheese itself.
What kind of cheese did you use?
Not healthy cheese. But that is the only way I got him to eat it.
The tricks in the cheese. The tricks in the cheese.
Not healthy cheese. It was
but it's healthier than otherwise.
Velveeta and what is it? Velveeta and mild cheddar cheese.
But the point is, it's healthier than otherwise would have been. Though,
exactly.
So
we
he's
tried.
still eating veggies.
Exactly.
Still eating the
got him to eat his veggies. That was the goal.
Yeah. So same thing with the mashed cauliflower. Yeah.
Number 5 on her list is drink more agua, drink more water. I guess Oprah is not a big fan of drinking her water, which I was a little disappointed in.
I was surprised.
I was too.
I didn't know that people did not enjoy drinking water.
I love feeling hydrated. I love water. So one thing that she does is she adds ginger and a little bit of vanilla extract.
Now, I've never added those two things to my water.
So I make my own ginger tea. I literally literally will cut up real ginger and boil it in water and drink it.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I've had ginger tea, but not like just. Would ginger and vanilla be good in water?
Well, sometimes I'll like the leftovers.
Yeah.
I will drink cold.
And it's good. It's tasty.
It's fine, but
Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
It wouldn't make it more palatable to
Yeah.
me.
But I imagine people who love ginger ale probably
Yeah.
will gravitate to,
Yeah.
you know,
A little
just
ginger,
ginger
vanilla.
water. Is there a certain type of fruit or anything that you put in your water that you enjoy that maybe we don't?
Yeah.
I also do grapefruit water. That's something that I did for my weight loss on the TV
Because
show.
grapefruit's a natural fat burner.
Exactly. So I would put it in a blender, half of a grapefruit, put water, blend it up. That way you have the skin, you have
Nice,
the
The
fiber inside of it, and drink it. And that was like my go-to.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of I love strawberry water. I love cucumber water.
Yeah,
cucumber water is super
good.
hot. It feels very hydrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and spas, they do that all the time because it does feel very replenishing, and
Yeah.
hydrating. So that is her last tip: drink agua, and she puts different things in it. So that's Oprah's 5 tips for weight loss. If you guys do Weight Watchers, let me know your experience. I would like to know, did it work for you? Did you lose the weight? Did you gain it back? Do you still go to Weight Watchers after you've lost all your weight, or do you kind of just carry on and do your own thing afterwards? I'm kind of interested. I see some clients who are very successful on it, but I wonder what happens when you stop going.
I imagine it has to be a lifelong thing. I think whenever it comes to a diet that works, it has to be something you're going to do for the rest of your life. You can't just stop it, because once you do, then you're no longer doing what got you to the point you're at, you know?
I am such a calorie counter, and I know some people are against it, but that's how my brain works. I see something and I'm like, okay, that's gonna put me over, or that's just about right. And
yeah, I can't count calories because it drives me crazy.
And see, it's the same thing with the scale. I have to get on the scale every day. It motivates me.
Yeah.
If I know I'm a couple ounces up, I will stay on that treadmill and run an extra mile just to make sure.
And that's important to know yourself, because then you know what motivates you and your motivators. So like you would want to have a scale in your home. For me, I don't want a scale in my home. I don't want to think about it. You know?
Yeah, that's my. I have clients who are the same way. They're like, you can weigh me, you can take my measurements, you can take my body fat, but I don't want to. But
yeah, because then you can just walk away from it and then just continue on the work. Because sometimes it's hard when you don't see the numbers you want to see, and that can set you back. You know?
See, I just find it. I'm like driven by it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna show up and show out. I know Brett isn't here yet, but we're gonna go on and talk about just some of the things that he's done. Have you tried?
Yeah. Well, so I met Brett in 2011, and so.
Were you guys auditioning for Biggest Loser together?
No. So he had actually done another fitness program, Rev Abs, and this is I just moved to LA, one of my first auditions, and this was one of the most grueling fitness programs I had ever been through. It was an audition that I walked out of hoping not to book. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to do that workout again. It was too tough.
What workout was it?
It was just a very intensive ab workout.
Oh, okay.
And his energy is amazing. And so of course I book it. The one thing I did not want, I was like, and so we go and we rehearse, and so meeting Brett and.
So you both got booked for it.
No, this was his program. He's a trainer for the program. It's his program. Yeah.
Oh,
and
cool.
And so working with him and just kind of getting to learn and see his energy was amazing. And this guy goes full speed ahead.
Really?
And so now he's got 20-minute trainer, or 20-minute body rather, which I'm almost afraid to try, because if he's gonna pack in that amount of energy and get you the workout you need in 20 minutes, I know it's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be effective, and so I'm just looking forward to hearing a little bit more about it.
So how many workout DVDs have you been in? Because I feel like you've done quite a few.
No, not too many. Maybe 2 or 3.
You've done Caliente Fitness.
Yeah, Caliente Fitness, Rev Abs, and I did a push-up one a while back as well.
Nice.
And
when are you coming out with your own?
I have.
Can I be in the background?
Well, no, you can be in it. I have been working on it, 6-minute six-pack, and so.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We cut one version of it, and so that's being edited as well. Yeah.
Look at you. Can you get me a 6-pack?
Yeah, 6 minutes.
I want a 6-pack in 6
minutes a day. 6 minutes a day for 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
But it also comes with a meal plan, and I think that's important. And what I love about and my meal plan, it's not a 20-minute meal plan by any means. And that's what I like about the 20-minute body, is that it comes with a meal plan that you can make in 20 minutes. And I think today a lot of people are so consumed or their time is just taken up. And so I think that is going to be an important aspect of that program.
So what is it? Do you think we really have less time? Or I just feel like everything needs to be quick, quick, quick? Or is it we just don't have as much patience as before?
No, I think we do have less time, but it's because we're so accessible now. There was a time you went to work and then you went home and there was no way to get a tweet or something from your boss or a text or something that you had to respond to immediately. You leave a message on the answering machine, you know. So I feel there was more downtime. Now we're more consumed with, you know, social media and being accessible with work and friends, and so people are demanding more of our time today than ever before.
So we really do have less time to
Yeah,
cook.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I signed up for? I don't know if you've tried it before, Blue Apron.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, you know that we've done a live read here for that before.
Yeah,
And so yeah.
I finally got it. One of my clients, I guess if you're on it, you can refer people and give them 2 weeks free.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I work a lot. I don't really have a lot of time to go, you know, to the grocery store. And I love the fact that they have natural and organic food. So they're literally going to local farmers and picking out your food and mailing it to you.
And you get a few weeks free, you said?
Yeah, so I get 2 weeks free. I can put you on.
But no one can say organic is too expensive, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, and so what I did is I did for 2 people. So me and my boyfriend, we have 3 meals a week coming in for 2 weeks. So that's 24 meals between the 2 of us.
Yeah.
You know, that's free. 24 meals free.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so but you haven't had it yet?
Yes, so we made our first meal.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't that healthy.
Wait, what was it?
It was chicken breast, but it was fried.
Okay.
But I fried it in, you know, olive oil, which was a little better. And then it was sweet potatoes, because again, I'm trying to get him to come over to the healthier side. So we did sweet potato fries, and you just cut up the sweet potato yourself, bake it, and then we did kale slaw salad or something like
Oh,
that.
that sounds delicious.
But it was really,
That
really
sounds
good.
pretty healthy too. That's a pretty healthy meal. What are you talking about?
I mean, about the frying the chicken was a little, but other than that, it was pretty good. But they sent us how to make squash enchiladas, and then cod, and you can see it says wild organic cod, and some other like vegetable, and but yeah, everything, and it's so cute because everything's labeled, like they put 1 egg for one of the meals and it says farmer's egg on it, and
cool.
it's exciting because
So you'll have a week under your belt next week, so we'll get like a real full update about everything.
You'll have a full update.
And desserts. Are they good on desserts?
No desserts.
I'm a dessert fan.
Oh, are you?
No desserts.
Yeah, they do no desserts, but you can order wine if you want to go. And again, I wanted to do this too.
That's dessert.
Yeah. You girls out there, if you're trying to convert your husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, partners to, you know, become more healthy, start trying organic food, and even teach your partner how to cook.
Yeah.
So what I did is I was having him cook with me. I'm like, okay, you could do this.
Because it's almost
and
like a
here are the
thing, you know, a box comes, let's like do something with it. Yeah.
And I was like, I am so winning right now.
Till he watches this show and he's like, wait a minute.
Exactly. But we were both cooking healthy food, so I feel good about it. So I'm excited about Blue Apron, see where it goes. And it's pretty decent price. I think it's $60 for 2 people a week.
Okay.
So that's about $10 a meal each person.
Wow, yeah, it's really cheap.
I will say this though, if you have somebody who eats a lot, it might not be enough portion size for them.
So they're big on portion control.
Yes, big on portion control, but it was perfect for me. I wasn't hungry, so
Yeah.
that's good. All right. We are still waiting on our guests, but that's okay. We will go and talk about more topics. Something that I saw recently that Jillian Michaels was chatting about. Did you see? I tagged you on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that tag. Well, I forgot what it was for though.
Oh, okay. So Jillian Michaels was just kind of voicing up and talking about food stamps, how she has an issue that food stamps doesn't cover. It doesn't cover many platforms to buy different types of food.
Yeah.
So you on food stamps, government assistance for food, you can buy potatoes, you can buy white rice, you can buy all these unhealthy food, candy bars, but it doesn't cover all the healthy foods or organic foods. So I found that, you know, I personally didn't know that, and I found that very alarming because I feel like if there's anybody the government should be looking out for. It should be able to help the less privileged people to, be able to buy food to nourish their families and keep them healthy.
And so I think, because it was food desert she was like referring to. So areas,
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so areas where it was really difficult to get healthy food.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it wasn't that it covered organic food, but that there was no accessibility to it for people in a lot of different regions. And that's a big problem when your only access to food is unhealthy food and you don't have other access to it. That's almost worse because there are no options in some respects. So I think that's a really good thing that she's promoting. And I mean, I don't know exactly how you get at that particular problem, but whether the government could do something like Blue Apron and just mail out food rather than, I don't know. You know?
I love the fact that she's being so vocal and, putting her stamp on it. And I see this change when you see celebrities who become mothers. Even Michelle Obama, I feel like she's so passionate about, feeding children healthy food. And I feel like it's because she's a mom. And I see these celebrities who become mothers, and I feel like they realize, okay, I have a voice. I need to speak up because I'm a mom, and I would want other children to have the best for their health and their life.
Yeah, especially, and I know Jillian Michaels has an adopted daughter, and knowing that just that miracle of adoption may have been what got her the access to food and certain things like that, where you just know it's by chance, So just because of a chance circumstance, you may not have access to the healthy food that you need.
What's crazy? My father grew up in the campo, in the country in the Dominican Republic, and he would tell me that there was no cancer back then. I mean, maybe there was, they didn't have a name for it, but it wasn't really prevalent. Like my great grandmother, she passed away maybe 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago, 106 years old. They put her in the newspaper because she finally moved over here to America, and then sometimes she would go back and forth. But they put her in the newspaper in my hometown as the oldest woman alive in my hometown. She's 106 years old. And he would tell us all the time is that they had their own farm, they had their own farm
it's 'cause
animals.
they were eating healthier,
And, they're not putting all these, MSG in their plants. Or
GMOs,
GMO, and I feel like that's something that we're so missing. But I've watched tons of documentaries, and I feel like it's very hard for these farmers to even keep their business afloat if they don't succumb to the certain standards that the U.S. is putting on what it is to become a farmer. And
well, I think we're in the midst of, I'd say, a food revolution where because of social media, we have so much knowledge about what's going into our food. We have people exposing things, and there's a wider dissemination of that stuff. Because, right now, you want to buy local, you want to buy organic, and the mere fact that you want those things means it's out there in the universe and people are starting to flock towards those things. So the hope is over time the market will start to shift that way. Whole Foods is great, and that's why Whole Foods has done so well, is because they have kind of embodied some of those principles, and I think that you see a greater shift in people's mindset when it comes to their food.
Yeah, it's nice to see everybody just waking up. And I think the alarming scare of the cancer and health risk and people dying at a young age, and the only thing that would make sense is what we're putting into our bodies.
Yeah, I mean, when we have YG, the rapper, going vegan, and and a lot of these people that you would think, but they're paying attention to the news and they're watching these things because they have that sort of status that they can take a moment and actually determine what's going to my body and how to make it better.
Yeah, even me, I'm a fitness manager at an all-women's gym, and I manage a large team of trainers. I manage a large team of group fitness instructors, and it's so frightening to hear some of the health scares that these women have at such a young age, and they are, pretty much healthy, but I feel like if you spent so many years of your life eating processed food, eating certain types of meats, eating tons of sugar, I feel like you can't undo everything. You can do your best moving forward to live a healthy life, but it's really scary when, you have a young instructor just find out she has cancer.
Yeah. I mean, food is like either a medicine or a poison. It is a drug. It does affect our bodies. It can physically change the chemicals and the makeup of our brain. It can change, obviously, the body. And so people need to remember that food is not just this thing that we eat for nourishment, but it's like taking a drug. So just as you'd be careful with a drug your doctor prescribed you, you need to be careful with food as well and kind of look at its effect on you.
Yeah, and I know I firsthand know that experience just being,
Oh my
you know,
God. Yeah,
when
on
I
your
was
show.
overweight on the show, I literally went through a good portion of depression for the months that I was overweight and eating unhealthy, and the migraines and the nausea, and, you know, so this might sound weird, but sometimes it feels really good to just eat a big juicy salad or have a nice big protein shake, or, you know,
Well,
it just, you feel good, you don't feel heavy, you
Because then
know?
your brain makes different connections and new associations. So that same feeling that you got eating the donuts that gave you that all the lighted areas that lit up in your
Yeah.
brain, now the salad's doing the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's hard to start to create new associations for ourselves, but that's where you have to make the difference, make a change.
Yeah, you definitely do. All right, we are still waiting on him, but we're not going to give up. He's going to show up, and we're going to have the best interview ever. So you guys definitely stick around. Make sure to just, you know, keep tuning in. We're going to keep on talking about, you know, different health and food-related topics. Let's see what else we can chat about. How about this? I'm going to go onto Twitter right now and see what you guys are tweeting about. Again, if you want to ask us any questions, please tweet at us, either Shaka Strong or at Fit with Fallon. Today I found out for season 2 of Fit to Fat to Fit who some of the trainers are and the contestants, and it was really, really interesting.
Can you reveal this?
Let's see. I'm just going to go on my social media.
Any locals? Any local?
You know, I think 1 or 2 of them, but I haven't heard of any of them before. But one of them, he's actually from Atlanta. He did Dating Naked.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was so funny. But you know what? If he can be so open about his body and date naked on national television, then, you know, he probably wouldn't be afraid to pack on the pounds.
Well, I don't know. I would think he'd be more afraid. I'm guessing he's fit. So,
yeah. He's definitely fit.
Yeah, so that to me is like, oh, I have a lot of pride in my body, so I think it's going to be tough for him to then just ruin that, you know, to some degree.
So his name is Willie, and he's from Georgia. He's on season 3 of Dating Naked, and I see a picture of him naked with, you know, covered up with his date. But yeah, he looks pretty fit. He looks, you know, like there's going to be a big transformation for him. So I just thought it was interesting for them to pick somebody who, I don't know, I felt like, I wonder how serious people will take him if he's done that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it'll be interesting just to see how he turns out. Another girl is Felicia Romero. She's a little cutie. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's a... Yeah, I know. I know Felicia Romero.
Yeah, she's a cover model. Is she from here? LA?
Yeah, she competes a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Or she
We got to
used
get her
yeah.
on the show. That would be interesting. Yeah, she's a little cutie, and she's strong and fit, and it will be... I'm going to love watching all these trainers just get fat.
And this season, the trainers interact with each other. Is that correct?
Yep, so this season they're doing it a little different. I think some are from Arizona and or they're placing them in Arizona and some California, but every episode is going to interact. So there's only 4 trainers and there's 4 clients. But what's going to be different about this season is that instead of linking up with a client that they've never met before, that the casting producers pick, what they're going to do is surprise a client who is actually either a friend or family member to train them.
That's good.
So
Incentive, right?
So now you're going to see a natural dynamic. And I feel like what was hard about last season, it's total stranger.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know them from a hole in the wall. You have to get to know them. This is, you know, either my brother or my aunt or my best friend.
Because, I thought the incentive last season for the trainer even just to gain the weight was probably low because you're getting it for someone you don't know.
Exactly.
And then the incentive for that person to stay with the trainer as they lose weight was low because they don't know
you.
But now...
Hence my client who didn't care about me.
But now it's going to be like, I'm going to see you. I know where you live. You know?
Like, we homies for life. You ain't going to leave me
you're
stranded.
Losing this weight. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting. I know it's going to be highly emotional.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's not 8 months into 1 hour. It was crazy how much they cut out.
Yeah.
Like, insane how much they cut out. So I feel like this is going to be
more reflective
of the day in and day out of what they're actually going through.
And it might get a little competitive, too.
Yes.
I could even see the trainers getting competitive as they're gaining weight because they're alongside each other.
And they know each other now. We weren't allowed to know. It wasn't revealed who the other trainers were until we were done with the show. So, they posted it and they met each other. So they did their way in together. So they definitely know who's who. So it will be very, very competitive.
Well, hopefully we'll have some of those guys in to detail their experience here in Fit Club.
Yes.
Maybe even before they go on.
Yes, we will definitely have them on. And I'm still trying to get Drew on, the executive producer, the guy who actually started it all. Oh. He was trying to get on, but he's filming right now. So we'll have to find a day where, he can set aside some time to come in. But I feel like I've had so many Fit to Fat people. But everybody's experience is unique.
They're a great trainer, and then they're actually doing something that's more unique than anything else most of us know about.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like we're going to have to take a rain check on Brett, but hopefully he'll be in here in the coming weeks, and we'll have him here to dish on 20-minute body.
All right, so you guys next week, make sure to tune in, and hopefully Brett will be here then, and we'll chat with him. And thanks for hanging out with us and chatting and listening, and hopefully we'll see you next week with Brett. Thanks for joining. You guys can find me online at fitwithfallon.com. And where can they find you, Shaka?
My name's Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaka Strong.
All right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.